Alrighty, so with these last couple of Tower of Trials, I've honestly been thinking the entire time, like, oh, maybe these are becoming too easy, and that's why they changed the form factor from this old Tower of Trials format to the new one. But this Tower of Trials, although, I mean, the patch has been out for like 2 hours, and it's 6 a.m. and I'm on floor 25, although I'm already here at the end, this one has given me more trouble than the last 5 of them put together. This one has been actually pretty fun and interesting. Obviously, this was the one where I think this is the last old form factor that we're getting, by the way, so I was wrong about that when I said it in the news. I thought we were going to get another one after this, maybe, but this is season 7, I think it is, and it's the last season. But what makes this one so hard is this Power of the Goddess, or Power of the Goddesses, little buff that they get, where it makes it to where it changes percentages throughout the entire tower. I think it starts off with 50% and 50%, but it says if the damage taken is greater than 30% of the hero's max HP when attacked, recovers 70% of the damage taken. Honestly, this one right here, I have really not seen it go to work or do anything positive for me the entire time, so I really don't know what to think about this one. I don't know if this is like stacking on, making it harder as well, but this one is like a real kicker because for the most part, that is kind of the issue, but also each of these floors, like I would say like every 5 floors or so, it ends up changing how much damage they do to a certain class. So for these last 5 floors, that has been demons. I started off the tower, the first like 15 floors or so. I was literally just using the Purgatory Bond team with Escanor on it, and we were just wiping first turn, second turn every single time, all the way up into like about floor 15 or so. And then I had to switch off of that, and I went for this team right here, which is just like the traditional Escanor, Gother, Goddess Liz with Death Pierce in the back, so that way I could try to one-tap as much as possible. And it got to the point to where they were just doing so much damage to Escanor that I couldn't handle it anymore, and I had to tap out and swap to the Assault Mode Meliodas team. That was pretty interesting as well, and it definitely made me have to think about it a little bit because I didn't realize that they were doing more damage to a certain race up until that point. So I had to sort of shift gears a bit and change my team several times because, obviously, like I said, once you hit floor 20, it changes back to where they're doing more damage to demons. So I had to swap my team back to the Escanor team. And although I'm not the biggest fan of like you got to change your team around because they're doing more damage to certain races, etc., like that was a little annoying more than anything, I think. But to be honest, it was a little bit interesting. Like it was a direct counter to them knowing that the one Escanor was out during this season 7 floor or like trials, and it was just that was their way of countering Escanor, being like, okay, like yeah, Escanor can do tons and tons of damage, but if they target him, he's gonna take a ton of damage. So I think it was really cool, in my opinion. I think if they would have kept this form factor and sort of used, the rules and stuff like that to counter whatever the current meta units and stuff like that are, instead of like the first like 6 different Towers of Trials, like literally the only thing that they countered was the Pierce team for some reason, which the Pierce team didn't even do very well anymore. Like there was so much better stuff than the Pierce team that there was no point in them trying to counter that every time. Like it just didn't make any sense. So I think this one was actually pretty fun. I think this one was pretty interesting. It actually felt, hard for the most part. I mean, obviously, once you kind of got the gimmick, like once you understand the gimmick and you mess around with it a little bit, as long as your team is kind of built up and stuff like that, it wasn't too bad, but it was still fun and interesting. So I like this one a lot. Obviously, we just beat it first try on that one, but the rewards on this set of towers are so much better than the new set. Like the new set, sure, they give you like the newest floor that they just added. It's like 30 diamonds and you get a part 1 and a part 2 ticket. Like, sure, that's fine. But these were like every month and you would get, you know, 55 diamonds, I think it is total, a ton of hammers, ton of anvils, ton of tickets, ton of super awakening coins. It was just all together such a good reward for being able to make your way all the way to the top and everything like that. So I don't know, this is the superior tower to me, in my opinion. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about it, to be honest. This one was fun, though. I did like this one a lot. Hopefully you guys aren't struggling with this one too much. I honestly don't know if there's a great free-to-play sort of team that you can use for this, to be honest, because this one is so like hectic towards the later floors and there's that rule going on constantly. You would need a ton of survivability. Like, you would need a ton of like just being able to stay alive, like HP, defense, whatever it takes, while also either not doing too much damage to where they're just going to regen their health back, or you need enough damage to really hit them hard enough to destroy their health bar in one hit, like Escanor does. So if you have the one Escanor, he is probably going to be your best bet for the majority of the tower. Obviously, like I said, certain floors are like 1,000% extra damage to humans, so be careful on those floors and stuff like that. You may need to change your team around a little bit and try something different for those. But I mean, you know, Escanor is Escanor. He's gonna deal 400,000 damage whether you like it or not. So that's pretty much it. I don't really have anything else to go over. I think this one was cool. That's all I'm going to say. I've said it 1,000 times at this point. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Feel free to subscribe for more content in the future, and I'll see you guys in the next one.